Yes, yes, yes. This is the HL Podcast. Today's date is May 20th, 2025. The show is presented by way of StreamYard, and we are live on YouTube, Twitch, and IG right now. I got the fellas with me, Devontae, DJ No Name, Gary. What's happening, fellas? How y'all feeling?
Good,
feeling
man.
good. Yeah, feeling good. Like watching the Wolves vs Thunder too. That's about to jump off.
How you feeling, Devontae?
I was feeling good to Denver act like they can beat the Lakers a million times but can't close out. So I was just telling
for real.
it's easy.
No, for real.
Like, man, now I got to deal with it. Yeah, I feel good. I ain't watching the playoffs. I'll wait till the championship and pick it back up.
Really? You not watching the play? What?
You ain't trying to see the new era.
Yeah, the Knicks and Pacers.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
I want New York to win it all. If I got to pick, I'm going with the big market. Let's go New York.
I agree with that.
Yeah, everybody in Oklahoma gonna hate me for saying it, but no, if the Lakers ain't winning out the West, nobody wins out the West.
That's what I said. That's what I said about you. You can get away with that. Oklahoma ain't gonna get you. They know how diehard you are, so they already know what's up.
Hey, Keezy was already on my head. Hey, let me tell you this, bro. Shout out, not to take too much. The homie, shout out to the barber Keezy.
Yeah,
that's the homie. Me and the fam went there to get the haircut this weekend. Keezy was like, "Are you coming to the parade?" I said, "Man, moms and pops ain't having that. I can't wear my Laker, so you can wear your Laker gear." And you just see what the Knicks fans did to that Pacer fan, but you want me to wear my Laker gear? Nah.
Oh yeah, that shit was crazy. That'd be Eagles games.
See,
like when they played the Giants, dude had a whole tray of food like chicken fingers and fries and shit. He's walking up the steps. Eagles fans are picking at his food, eating it. Like just the disrespect, yo. And by the time he got to his chair, he had nothing left. Like they took the sauce, everything. Like, nah, give me that. Straight. Well, and what was you? He by himself.
What you gonna do?
That's why I said I was like, I don't know. You can't be touching my chicken fingers, fam. But if I'm in Philly and I'm the only one there, I don't know. Y'all can have the sauce too, fries, all that.
They got that's the only stadium that got a jail underneath it. That shit is crazy.
Wait, what?
Yes. There's active, like we locking you up, like yeah.
Man, that's wild.
But hey, people, we are blessed to be here. Please go follow the podcast page on IG, follow us and subscribe on Twitch as well and YouTube again at the HL Podcast. Please hit that subscribe button. All right, we got a great show for everybody. A big shout out. We're gonna give out. We're gonna get into the real life. American Skin that's happening right now in front of our very eyes. If you haven't seen American Skin, please go see that movie starring Nate Parker. I believe it's on Amazon Prime, I think. We're going to get into Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Ryan Clark, RG3. We're going to get into we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. Of course, the conference finals is set. We were just talking about it. We got the Knicks in Indy, and we got Oklahoma City and Minnesota. So big time matchup. I don't know if y'all saw Complex's list on the best rapper singer duos of all time, but we will get into that. Forever, Netflix. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. We're gonna give our review and talk about it. The Iron Heart trailer came out. Mission Impossible 8, 9, 10. 11, 12 is coming out this weekend. All right. Is it Tom Cruise's last mission? We shall see. All right. And then our top 5 or 10 is dealing with hip hop. All right. And then we got a big announcement coming up. But people, as we get into it, as we always like to do and start the show, the most known unknown. All right. And today is just a shout out to a young man in Baltimore, the 14-year-old genius, the real life smart guy. All right. His name is Wes Muhammad. All right. Yes, you read that correctly, people. All right. This young man is a freshman at Coppin State University. All right. Doing big things at only 14 years old. Okay. The youngest freshman ever to attend Coppin State, which is in the state of Maryland. All right. The kid is just a flat out genius. He is preparing to study for and is studying for cybersecurity engineering. All right. That shit is dope. Just, seemed like a bright young kid, got the fresh suit on. Seemed like he come from, I don't know, maybe it's a Muslim family, they keep that suit tight, keep that bow tie tight, with them bean pies. With them bean pies. Sure. But yeah, no, just major props to, this kid's parents as well, right? Says his mother taught him to read at age 3, and by 4, he had already started first grade. At 4 years old, already starting first grade. All right. He attended private schools and was homeschooled, and then later entered public school. So he got a whole blend of education. So just want to, like I said, extend the shout out, man. Wes Muhammad, 14-year-old genius out of Baltimore, Maryland.
Let's go.
Yeah, for real. That's like major.
That. And he going into tech. What I tell you. Occupy tech streets. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Sure. No, absolutely. People. HL News. All right. We got a lot to get into. Okay.
Again,
as I alluded to, this is the real life American skin happening. So if you haven't seen the movie, it is starring Nate Parker, okay, who is dealing with a real life situation that is happening in America every day, unfortunately, where he is, driving through a predominantly white neighborhood with his teenage son. Unfortunately, he gets pulled over, and the police officers ultimately kill and murder his son. All right. And so him being, I believe, ex-military or ex-police in the film, he decides to seek his due justice, seek his revenge, right? And get some of his military guys or his police buddies to help him pretty much take hostage of a police station. And ultimately things transpire from there, and him getting out his message, and then him interacting with the police officers in the police station. Just a very powerful film, especially with what's going on right now today. Well, we have that happening today, unfortunately. In this case, Rodney Hinton, okay, Jr., okay. This man, his son, Ryan Hinton Jr., okay, his 18-year-old son, was shot, killed by a police officer. That officer's name is Deputy Larry Henderson, okay. I'm sorry, excuse me. So let me fast forward. That's not the officer's name that shot the kid. That is the officer's name of who Rodney Hinton decided to run over with his vehicle in retaliation, okay, due to that police department in Cincinnati killing his son, okay. Just, a very unfortunate, tragic story, because now, obviously, he is on trial for the murder of that police officer, yet not one single police officer, if I'm correct, has been charged with murdering his son, okay. So obviously the story has made a lot of headline news because of the, him walking past the police officers and him giving I did it. What? Y'all took my son. You know what I mean? Again, as y'all know, I'm not a father yet, but my lady, has a son, and I'm pretty much like stepdad right now. Officially, unofficially, right? But it's imperative, especially with our Black boys, right, that we protect them. Black boys and Black girls, but especially with our Black boys here, as we are speaking as men, right? It's imperative to protect them because they are the future. As cliche as we want to say that's a fact, right? They will keep them as well as these young Black girls who will become women. That's about extending the race. That's about making sure that that our race, that our culture, our history continues to be pushed forward throughout history. And it's just sad to constantly see police officers now, aka the Klan, killing our Black boys and then ultimately it resulting in a father who I'm sure has seen on the news, other black boys get killed, right, by the hands of police. And it's like, at some point, yeah, you're going to snap. It's like, what can you're constantly seeing it, and then it happens to you and your family, but fellas, please chime in, on your thoughts.
Man, it's one of those things like you don't want to say the wrong thing, because it really is like the shit is just all around just like crazy. And it's like we've been so angry when we see stuff, and it's like, oh, this is the Jay-Z line, if you shoot my dog, I'm gonna kill your cat, right? You know what I'm saying? And we get angry like that point, like, oh, you coming for mine, I'm coming for yours. But then when you see these situations, and I love how you tied it in with American Skin, because I watched that movie and I remember watching it like, yo, this is like crazy, because you were like, could this happen? But it's happened before. It's not like it's never happened before. We've seen it because this one's so tied to the consistent fight with police brutality or police shootings. But we've seen it where it's the other way, where you sexually assault this man's daughter and he goes after you, or just these different like type of scenarios, right? In this particular thing, like, as a father, as a husband, I had a situation, somebody had disrespected my wife, just my wife alone. And when it sat with me the next day, the level how I felt was just the anger that I felt, the redness, because you try to like not laugh it off, push it off. I've had too many situations where my son, he felt like, what I'm saying, when he doesn't feel like protected, like, and and I'm like, they're not there to help. And it's like, so to sit there and watch your son be killed, and there's no justice for it, and he's seen as a threat, and I don't want to say like go take the law into your own hands. I don't really support that. I mean, but it's hard when the law is taking past the law into their own hands too. And it's like, nobody won in this situation, and that's the best thing I can say. Like they say eye for eye. Well, he lost, and they took one of his and he came for one of theirs, but in the end his family's now losing too. And it's like, there's no win in this situation, but it has to be some, I think reciprocity is the word, like I would say, like, where it has to be, or just some I don't know, y'all, like, because it just breaks my heart, because part of it was to see him walk in that courtroom, all I kept thinking was like, yeah, bro, like, with your family now, like, you know what I'm saying? A target on his back and his family. And then it's like, this just pleads to more to their case to be like, oh, see, this is how they act. But you're not understanding why he did what he did. Like, like the why, like have that anger, and you can't, and that's why I use like a father having a daughter she's sexually assaulted, or a son, the Catholic Church coming at the boys for years, and when fathers or parents find out, you know what I'm saying? Or think about it when it was a gang who killed a father's kid, and he like, what's up then? Like, and it's like that anger, and I understand that anger as having a child, you know what I'm saying, and just having like, so I don't know, man. This one I just ranted there because it's just like, I don't know. I truly don't know, and I want to be like, yeah, but it doesn't feel like a yeah. It feel like, damn, man, I hate that this happened. Yeah, I hate that it happened.
Yeah, that was just like what both of y'all said. I agree with what both of y'all said, because it was more like that's what you said. Like, this isn't the only time this happened. This happens often. Like, and then how often does it happen? And then, Rock, what you said is what I initially thought when we went through the list of what we was going to talk about. It was like, yo, you keep seeing this over and over in different ways, right? And then it happens to you. So now it's like, okay, what do you expect me to do at this point? Like, I'm a father. It happened to my son. Like, I've seen people protest. They only went so far. This, that, and the third. Everything was peaceful. but then it's like nothing changed. So check this out. I'm about to do it this way then. And it's
Mhm.
like he still lost. Like, so it was just like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And it's just like that's what you said earlier. I'm gonna make sure I don't want to say the wrong thing because it's real sensitive, and it's just like like you said, everybody lost, man. Because I didn't really dive into it like that in a sense of how sensitive I was too, because I didn't even know the officer he ran over didn't even deal with the one who shot his son. I didn't even know that until you told me, fam.
Yeah, I just found out right now. I thought
That's
that
why.
was the officer.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I was like, yo, like that is so wild. So that's why I could just leave it at that, man. All around it's just like real super, it's super wild and it's sad at the same time. And like this, like you said, just everybody lost. You know, no matter what the situation is.
Yeah, because and I know Rock, you're gonna take it, and the reason I want to say this too, because like even how Rock just said that's the officer, that just breaks the heart more because it's like now you got to think, and I think we're living in this space where he went and got that officer, so now that plays into a stereotype of his family who probably even saw black people a certain way. And they probably never were like that, but you see what I'm getting at? Like it's just
right, yeah.
like going to that, and I'm like, why they have to lose for that? And I'm not saying if he would have got the right officer, it would have just justified. I'm not justifying any of it. What I am saying is like that's what I thought initially, but at the same time, I get it, like because there's no parent in the world will tell me if somebody harmed your kid.
Right, exactly.
This is the equivalent, and this is super. It's not this extreme. Will Smith smacking his wife on stage, like yo, like we've all been there. You come at my lady, you come at my people, you come at people I love. I'm coming at you. So it's like this is just it's a loss. You can take that, Rock. My bad, bro.
No, you good. Yeah, no, it's definitely a loss. It's unfortunate. And yeah, to y'all's point, like now if I can't recall if he is married and has other children, but yeah, now your whole family is affected, right? A mom lost her son, siblings lost their brother. Now they got to lose their father, and now they got she got to lose her husband. Yeah, it sucks, but at the end of the day too, when is it enough? Right? Like when are they, and this is not directed towards every police officer. We know this, right? The ones who just exhibit this level of disregard for life, especially the lives of people of color. It's just still very sad that this has continued in the year 2025. And we're constantly feeling like, are we in 1925? Just sad and unfortunate.
That's real. Is it enough?
Fellas, want to pivot. Now, normally we discuss here, certain political topics or cultural topics. And, this could be considered a sport topic, but then it got into the realm of culture and Black versus white and this and that, and we're talking about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. All right, so I think it was Sunday or Saturday, right? Saturday.
The season. Yeah, I think it was their season opener. Both of days, I believe.
Yep. Season opener on Saturday. Chicago Sky was in Indiana to play the Fever. The Fever obviously looking to take a jump with all the pieces that they add around Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston. While Chicago, they put some pieces around Angel Reese and Camelia Cardozo, but as far as guards, but they still struggle. Ultimately, they were getting blown out, by Indiana, and so towards the end of the game, Angel Reese happens to push. I think it was Aaliyah Boston that she pushed, or one of the happened to push her out of bounds. Wasn't nothing crazy about it, just a little push. Caitlin Clark took exception to it, defended her teammate. All right, and pushed Angel Reese to the ground, or whatever the case may be. Nevertheless, definitely not a basketball play, so they deemed it a flagrant. But Angel Reese got up and was like, "Yo, this chick hit me with a tank." I'm ready to whoop ass. All right. And but again, it's all competitive. Angel Reese plays fired up all the time. That's her spirit, right? But obviously you're in Indiana and you're going at the chosen one in Caitlin Clark. So of course the crowd got upset. Apparently they were saying, just crazy things to Angel Reese, unnecessary things, but again, in Indiana, again, the home and the birthplace of the Klan. These are the same people during the 90s when Reggie Miller and the Knicks was playing, which we're gonna get into that rivalry. Literally, and Spike Lee. I know y'all saw it, the posters with Spike Lee with the damn noose around. Like these were posters at the Indiana Pacers. So this is how this is how they rock. All right. So this is not a surprise, especially because of Angel Reese's and Caitlin Clark's rivalry that goes back to Angel Reese beating her in college at LSU. While he was at LSU in Iowa for the national championship as well. So, but now Caitlin Clark, has somewhat the better team. She's had the immediate success, obviously making first team All-NBA as a rookie. But again, she can ball. We all know that, and she's, in her ways, paid homage to the WNBA players that came before her and the black women that play in the WNBA. So all of this isn't necessarily on Caitlin Clark per se. Okay. More so about what she represents to white people who feel like they constantly need a white hope, especially in a black dominated sport like basketball, right? Then somebody had to chime in, all right? Mr. Shees himself, all right? Mr. Cornball Brother, as Rob Parker called him, all right, himself, okay? He had to chime in.
Wait, Rob Parker called him a cornball?
Yeah, Rob Parker, fam. I remember that.
That's what
got him kicked off of ESPN. Yeah, that's what got. He was on First Take when he said that with skipping. Yeah, that's what got. Because he's like, we don't know if he's a brother or cornball. That's that guy. He said it. So he had to chime in, and I don't know all of the context of what he said, but he's doing his podcast. His wife is behind him, monitoring his podcast and what he's doing, and through all of what he said, the main context that was taken out was Angel Reese clearly hates Caitlin Clark. Okay, and so then Ryan Clark of the Pivot, also on ESPN, decided to chime in himself, and pretty much through his soliloquy stated that, look, man, at the end of the day, it was wrong for you to say that she hates her. That's not hate, right? It was a basketball play. Angel Reese reacted like any other basketball player would after a hard foul, right? And we move on, right? She was called with flagrant. They didn't just call it a common foul. They at least gave her a flagrant for it. And so, that wasn't necessarily hate. Angel Reese doesn't hate Caitlin. First of all, she's got one up on her. She has the national champ. So what am I hating you for? If anything, I might hate what you represent, right? And then he also chimed in to state that somebody like a RG3 can't understand black struggle, especially of black women, because of who he's married to. And you can clearly see his white wife behind him monitoring his podcast. Of course, Ryan Clark had other things to chime in, but which was very accurate, very on point. What did you guys take on Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and of course RG3 and Ryan Clark?
You can go first, Gary, on that.
Yo, so as far as RG3 goes, it goes back to like what I said about Saquon, just like. That's the root of it, fam. Like this is the second episode. There's 2 episodes in a row, fam. So let's start there with them, and then, oh man, it's just so wild with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I like the rivalry. I love it. I enjoy it. It was definitely a hard foul. I was watching the game. It was definitely a hard foul. She just reacted. That was nothing more, nothing less, and. I mean, I ain't look at him much more than that. They could, everybody else who's commentating and analyzing, they could have left it at that. Because the more of this is like over exaggerated by the people more than anything. I think I think Angel Reese definitely feeds into it. Like she uses it as fuel when Caitlin Clark just trying to hoop. I feel like Clayton Clark just really be trying to hoop, and it's more of the people who be adding on to all that extra.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. It's really just Magic versus Bird. It's just females. Like, and I think the NBA, I'm gonna use them real quick because with Magic versus Bird, as I've gotten older and looked into it, they played heavily into the race card with the narratives that they put out. Go look at the old videos and stuff like that. The NBA leaned into it because the ratings sucked in, and they were okay with all of it. And I'm not going to say the WNBA is doing some of the same, but sports media in general is for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And they do these hot takes like RG3. Now he don't get RJ3 no more. Robert.
Robert.
Robert decided to say what he said, knowing, and knowing what he was saying. And my thing is, it's like, you are. I've seen moments when Robert wanted to be an ally, and then I've seen moments when Robert does this. And to me, that is the most problematic thing because you're not really the ally you say you are. And now I'm a person, I know me, I'm going to try to see everybody's side of the table, unless you're racist, misogynist, sexist, and everything else. And I realize I can't see your side. But if you're not bringing that, this is my view, I would try to get a clear understanding. But Robert, to say she hates her, like when you've seen them talking outside of this and they just chopping it up, and like stop, like, and plus two, the problem I will forever have with it, I'm on this kick. I'm trying to curse less as I'm working on my new album, y'all. I'm trying to curse less, but motherfuckers like that, like some. It's like you don't even watch the WNBA. You would have never watched the WNBA, right. But you got these 3-second comments, and it's like I watched the play. It was a basket. Angel Reese, she like Draymond. I don't think Draymond's a dirty player. I just think Draymond's an overly aggressive player. How he plays. Now, there's sometimes I don't blame anybody who questions certain things because I'm like I can't defend or deny that play.
Yeah.
Especially when we kick LeBron, I still can't defend or deny that play. But ultimately, I just think Angel Reese plays hard because she's not as I don't want to use the word skilled like that because I think she is skilled. She's not Caitlin with the things that she can do, but Caitlin's not Angel. Angel's a monster on offensive glass, monsters on rebounds in general, and she should be a spark. But like I think that it is just Magic versus Bird, and like it's media pushing it, and it's not going to stop until one fades away. And neither one are going nowhere. I wish them both a healthy career. But some of the notes I got is like when I put it's so fitting because the double standard that has been out there. Caitlin has swagger. Angel Reese, what they say, she's ghetto and unsportsmanlike. And I feel for Caitlin and I feel for Angel. I feel for Caitlin in the sense that like I'm not I don't want to say the views. It is the skeptic of me of how I just growing up dealing with racism is that when I see oftentimes white folks say certain things, I still question it. That's not fair to Caitlin. That's something I'm learning to work through and having to take certain people's word at their word. But she does not seem like the type that where she's truly not. She's more vocal this year than last year. And I applaud her for that because I don't think her as a white woman knew how to step into this versus you see someone like Paige because she's probably been around it more. Paige knew how to embrace all of this, and I can't compare one to the other because if you don't know until you don't know until you grow into or learn how to do it. And I think Caitlin's handling the best way she can. I do think Caitlin know how to play victim a lot too in far of these games. Now that's her basketball I'm talking about.
Yo, how she turned her back to Angel.
She quick with it.
Like, that was hilarious. I was like, I felt like I was the only one who caught it. Yeah, she real witty with it. I was laughing.
She knows she can get Angel riled up.
Yeah, but
I think that's just genius. I think it's just genius.
And she ain't want that smoke either.
Like, she don't want that. She never want that smoke. She ain't really about that like that. She ain't really about that like that. But it's cool. Like, let her have it. And as far as Indiana fans is concerned, enjoy it because she gonna end up in New York with Stewie or somewhere anyway. When Stewie leaves anyway, she ain't staying there long. She ain't gonna stay there long because you know what? Y'all gonna keep doing this, and eventually she's gonna get tired and leave. Like it works right now, small town market, but she gonna leave.
Yeah, no, and you're on to something. Angel Reese should join the Sparks. I ain't gonna lie. With adding Kelsey and Rakia Jackson and Cameron Brink, if they put Angel Reese on that,
yeah, because Kelsey already going. Kelsey already going up.
Yeah, that would be a spot.
Free Angel. That's what I've been on. Angel gonna get traded. She gonna get traded, and the Sparks will be right there to take her. They should have took her when they had a chance. Right. No, this is a good one, Rock, because for sure it does play into those types, and it's just it goes back to the first thing. I'm really so tired of talking about race, not on the podcast, but just in general. And it's not, but it's like you can't because it comes up. But it's just like as much as we get labeled as race baiting or saying we played a race card, it's kind of like I get white people wanting to have a hope. I do get it. I get it because black people, we wanted one for years and we've had many. So I get y'all, but y'all take y'all hope and y'all can kiss my black ass because this ain't it. Like this ain't it. If your hope is rooted in racism, it is not it. I just can't buy into it.
That's why at that moment I didn't need Joe Burrow to win it. At that time, I was like, nah, this ain't the time, fam. Because they was waiting on it. I didn't have time, fam. I was like, yes, I was glad. That was one of the main reasons why I was glad they lost. And then I was like, yeah, then Cooper Flag, I don't know how far he could take the match, but the Great White Hope is around the corner, fam. It really is. They've been teeter-totter in the past 5 years for sure.
They get mad, bro. Like, and I somewhat understand because we are used to not seeing us in spaces. But when I was back at Bible college, I had a teacher tell me who was white. He said, we as white people better get used to being the minority. Mm-hmm. And he said, because it's not going to look the way we used to seeing it. And then I remember that class and people were so uncomfortable when he said that. And he said, that is how you know if you truly can walk in the love of God or not. And people were like, they were just hurt because it was, why would you say that? Like, why would you? He was like, I ain't robbed from you, I ain't steal. He said, get used to it because things, a change has come.
Facts. And speaking of change coming, all right. So the conference finals.
I thought we took this off the table. I thought we stopped talking about basketball. Damn it.
Let's go.
We're gonna get it started with the Knicks and the Pacers. All right. Everybody knows, this rivalry is crazy. All right.
Come on.
This goes back, yeah. This is gonna be a good one. But now, you got the new tandem in New York with Cat and Brunson, and you got Halliburton in Indy. I should have grabbed a picture of his dad because he gonna be out there on the floor too. But no, look, it's gonna be a good matchup. I think it's going 7. Really? I think like Indy will win the first one. Of course, New York will win the second. I think Indy will go up 3-2, and then New York will win the last 2. I think they'll win 6 and 7. But yeah, it's just gonna be. It's going to be physical. It's going to be the theatrics, the dramatics, the drama, the highs, the lows. There's going to be a couple, maybe like 1 or 2 blowouts in one of these games where, teams are going to say, F it, we'll just get ready for the next game. But, yeah, this one I think is going to be pretty special. And then we have the Western Conference Finals, which Gary alluded to starts tonight. All right. With the City Thunder in Minnesota. You got the soon-to-be MVP in SGA, and then you got Ant-Man, all right, Anthony Edwards out of Minnesota. It's gonna be interesting. All right, I know Des. I know he about to go to sleep.
I'm ready for next season. Give me next season.
Look, man, neither LA is gonna be ready next season either way.
Lakers back, and Luka we trust. But nah, that Indiana one gonna be. Honestly, I think it was you, Rock, who sent it to me. I would love to see the Wolves versus the Knicks. That makes the most intriguing storyline. it ain't happening. We never, like I said, we never get what we want.
That is true.
I do feel like, personally, I really do feel like, with the exception of the Boston win to try to mask it, but I do feel like my conspiracy theory here is that they're paying these small market teams debts. Now, and here's what I mean, is because realistically, it's like they're not interested. Like when Denver won, nobody was really interested in that shit. Like nobody cared about Denver winning,
especially since it was a sweep.
Yeah, like, you know, and then you got OKC versus Indiana. Who really gives a fuck about that? I mean, I get it, Thunder fans.
Yeah, that would be boring. That's
boring as hell. But like, there's no matchup that makes more sense. Only reason I'm not rooting for the Knicks is because Cat is just hit or miss. I love Karl Anthony Towns. I got love for you, bro. I really do. I think you were one of the best shooting bigs we've seen. But, bro, it's always been a consistency thing for me. And then 1 minute you good, 1 minute you hot. And sometimes you ain't got that dog in you. And now this is coming from somebody who would never play in the NBA. So you could tell me to shut the fuck up. And but, like, I just feel like, bro, like every time I root for Cat, but I'm rooting for you this time, Cat. I'm really rooting for you. And I want you to do good. But it goes as far as Jalen Brunson. Because I don't see how teams can beat the Knicks. Because Mikal Bridges, OG, and then you like that defensive tandem right there, and then you got Josh Hart, this your cleanup dude. Like, it just works out nice. They should have kept Dante, but if Indy can do it, they can do it. But I'm gonna go with Roc's prediction. I'm with that one. I feel like it's a solid pick. I really do hope we get Minnesota versus the Knicks. That would be box because that would be box office. That would be box office. So yeah. It ain't happening though.
I would like to see the Wolves versus the Knicks on that Knicks versus Pacers. It's like, dang, I don't want to be wrong.
I wish that was the title.
Yeah, like I don't want to be wrong, and it's like I feel like this is this series. The Knicks don't want to lose one at home. I don't see the Pacers giving up a blowout. Like I don't see them doing that at all the way they've been playing. So if niggas really take care of home court, I think they'll mess around and get to the finals. But if they mess around and lose one like they've been doing all these playoffs, I don't know if it's gonna be looking too pretty for them. Same with OKC. If OKC slip up, one home game, Minnesota might mess around, make it to the finals that way too. So I'll roll with. Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna say the Thunder and the Knicks.
That's safe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the safe pick. I would say primarily because Oklahoma City has the home court. I think home court is going to matter more in that series, and I think it's going 6. I think like Minnesota will probably steal game 1 just because Oklahoma City played a 7-game series and they've been resting. And then it'll go 1-1. But I think Oklahoma City will win game 5 at home and then finish it in game 6 in Minnesota. But New York, Indy is going 7, no question. The Knicks issue, which nobody really talks about, is their depth. They only play 6 dudes. Like Indy can play 9 guys. Like they at least got 4 guys coming off their bench. Knicks got maybe McBride and I forgot the big Mitchell Robinson. That's it. To your point, there's like, if they kept DiVincenzo, at least you have 8, But that's gonna be. I mean, and then like the other game, Tom Thibodeau, they're blowing out Boston by 50, and he's got Cat and Brunson in the game.
That's that Tibbs stuff. Shout out to my brother because he's been calling out Tibbs for years for this BS since the D Rose injury. That's Tibbs.
So that's what's throwing me off too, how hard they're playing. But I was like, for Tatum to get that kind of injury, and that's not happening to none of the Knicks. The way they rotate and the way they play, they average 46 minutes a game. Like they don't like that's some crazy. That's why they whole staff won like an award like yesterday or today. Like they just won an NBA award. The whole staff. Now I can see why.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you though, like straight up, if I am Indiana, really they can't get away from it. But if I'm OKC or Minnesota, and I'm not saying they duck in the smoke, the thing with the Knicks, nobody want to deal with them Knicks fans because I think they like.
Yo.
I've been saying it for years. Laker fans get blasted as the craziest fans in the league. It's Knicks fans. Like Knicks fans are like
Lakers
crazy.
Lakers fans don't get blasted for
Yeah,
I ain't never heard that one. I heard the Knicks. I heard Boston playing in Boston is racist. Is in Indiana playing.
Here's where I'm going. I'm talking about the
LA
totality of it all. Because I sit up here on Bleacher Report, I hear Laker fans are so unrealistic. Knicks fans, they worse. They think they getting everybody. Then they can beat. They can beat everybody. I mean, and I guess as a Laker fan, we feel the same way. But Knicks fans, I don't argue with a Knicks fan. You ain't winning that argument. I let them have it. You know why? Because you argue with one Knicks fan, it's 30 of them like just in the trees waiting to argue with you. You know what I'm saying? With a Laker fan, you be out there solo dolo by yourself, and then you got a heat check. Like, what kind of Laker fan are you? Were you a Kobe Laker fan? Are you just here now for a temporary? You ain't really a Laker fan. Are you a Shaq Laker fan? Are you a Kobe and Shaq? It's like levels to the Laker fan. So, but Knicks fans, that's who gonna win it, and I want to see them win. I want to see Knicks fans win because it's like watching the Cubbies win. It's like,
I do too. I want to see, especially since the Liberty just won, like that. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I might go to that parade and get me a Knicks, but Knicks is like my, it's like one of my secret teams. I love the Knicks, man. It's just they classic. It's just that franchise. It's New York. You know what I'm saying? They like. It's like the swagger of it.
And fam, think about all the rosters they had leading up to this one. Like, I'll be thinking about the J.R. Smith era, Marcus Camby era, like Sprewell. Like, I'll be thinking all that to that. And I think that last ring is it was like 50 years ago, literally.
73.
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, like the Knicks gotta win. It's now is the time for real.
But I'm hoping. I've been telling a few people. I said this to my brother. I said I hope this is the ushering in somewhat of the golden age of those teams. Like I want to see the Bulls come back. Like I hate Boston, but it was good to see Boston mentioned, right? You know what I'm saying? It feels. I want to see them bring the Seattle SuperSonics team back. Like I think Rock, how you put it in a thing. We got Indiana versus, you know what I'm saying, New York, you know what I'm saying? I put in my notes like it's like an old VHS tape, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is like nostalgia. So I want to see some of those old classic teams come back because that and then look at Michael Jordan is coming back and it's about to be on NBC.
That's cool. That's wild.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that feeling. Just once I hear that, that's one of the reasons I'm excited next year just to hear that.
Crazy.
I just want all these teams to come back with that. I just like, because like, man, it's like you don't get to relive that childhood too many times, but seeing the Knicks there and competing is like straight nostalgia. It's just like, man, Patrick Ewing, you know what I'm saying? It was Anthony Mason. When you talking about, like, you know what I'm saying? Who was that shooter they used to have?
Allen Houston?
Yeah, yeah. And man, my bad, Bean. When Kobe got that 2-piece, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? That was the Knicks, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, you gotta.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that. Like, with Detroit, with the Pistons being good.
Yes, bro.
That was like, oh, okay. Like, I feel you on that. Orlando.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, you're right. Because I was super hyped when Detroit was back in the playoffs, like seeing them at home. I was like, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, bro. We need that, bro. Like that's what the NBA needs. Like bring back the classic teams and like bring back that nostalgic rivalry, that edge and stuff like that. That's what I want to see. So
So do we think the NBA is rigged?
Absolutely.
After this, how hold on.
Hashtag he knew.
Brian called it.
How you trade Luka? And y'all got a
1.8,
2%, 1.8.
Yes, sir.
Chance to get that first pick.
Come on, man.
And Dallas, who already has Kyrie, Clay, Anthony Davis, and then you could put in Gafford or Lively as the center. Then you just slide in Cooper Flag right there at the 3.
Jazz on the outside.
The issue with this team is though all those guys can't stay healthy. Like so, it's kind of going to be somewhat. I mean, we'll see what other piece, but it could potentially be a waste because all those guys can't really. Like, Kyrie can't stay healthy. Anthony Davis, that's the only thing going for Anthony Davis is he's still somewhat young, right? He just hit 30, I think. So
yeah, just his age.
Kyrie and Klay though, they on the other side of that, right? So. That's the only caveat. He might be able to play with Anthony Davis for a long time. He's not going to play with Kyrie and Klay for much longer. But again, if this team can stay healthy, oh man.
Oh yeah, that'll be a problem.
He's 32. Man. He's 32. So.
Oh okay. So
yeah, he's 30. But I feel like AD's going to end up back in Chicago. But to your point, it's been my reoccurring conspiracy because right now there's two things I look at the NBA, and this is just my conspiracy, no fact. They are at "we hate you, LeBron, we want you leave" stage, or we're pending catering to you. Because I caught it. I thought this was going to be. Remember we talked about Cleveland Lakers? I was like, I could see that, because the whole LeBron. I still think they're going to even give that next year because once he says the words "I retire," they're going to cater to that man. I don't care what they say. They're going to cater to who? LeBron? Yeah, once he says those words, they're going to roll the red carpet out. You ain't got no choice. That's the only thing that's carrying your fucking league right now. And once LeBron James is gone, we are not left with anything. Like, because, and I hate doing this because, like, we're our little public platform and I don't want to knock the upcoming stars, but there's nobody who's of that magnitude versus when Kobe was fading out, you had LeBron.
Nobody yet. I mean,
but it wasn't a yet with Bron. Think about it. That's where we're at now. We're waiting for people to build into that.
And we're talking about an American player though. Like Jokic internationally is big time. Giannis internationally.
I mean,
Luka internationally. We're talking about who's going to be the next great American player. There's a lot of guys that can potentially do it. Ant-Man could do it, but he said he don't want it.
Now we are comparing these people.
Don't shoot the messenger. All you gotta do is win a couple titles, yo. Like nobody thought Steph Curry was gonna be who he yeah, and then he starts shooting the ball like crazy and wins a couple titles.
I did. I just want to say I did.
Well, I mean, but not a lot of people, not the general public, right? Like, yeah, I mean, like they saw LeBron coming in high school, but he still had to go out there and win championships. He still had to go out there.
Even to that standard. Let's take Steph, though. Let's pull this. Here's where I'm going with this. I am talking to the magnitude of greatness. Like any of those names, you see them knocking LeBron James out of the GOAT argument. Because everybody who's comes they're in that argument.
Everybody say Steph could potentially.
I mean, I thought Steph would have got that title. He would have been, and he didn't get that title. He got to get that title. If Steph can get that title, then we're that puts you somewhat in. But he ain't got that. I'm talking about when LeBron James came in, when Kobe Bryant came in, when Jordan, you know what I'm saying? It was that magnitude of you're already to the greats. Now, don't get me wrong. We argue Jokic in terms of big. We're not arguing the greatest player of all time. LeBron James is that's what I'm saying. Nobody I see currently, and still it's not the same because you have to build into that. There's we're living in the times have changed too in their defense. Let me say that. Because we're now in a time where Rod, you already know Bron, they was talking. I mean, the dude was barely thinking about playing football. They was already calling him a GOAT. And it's we don't have that. So it's hard for me to see if any of these people have the mantle to carry that, because I think we are getting into this age where it's the league and the face. And that's why I'm saying the whole back to the rig question. Is it rigged? I think it will be interesting to see how this year plays out, who wins. It will be interesting to see how LeBron's retirement, when he does say it, is handled. And it was going to be interesting to see which team is the face, because you need an NBA face and you kind of need that team that's the face, because it's always been one or the other, and right now we can't even get a consistent dominant champion. It's this revolving door, and that could be times to change, and I'm okay with that, but I'm really scared for the league because you ain't got nobody who LeBron James's shoes. Look, that's that's where I'm at. I love Ant. I love it. But before Ant, they were talking about Ja Morant. And Ja Morant, he kept having first person shooter mode on repeat, so he couldn't like, you know. But that's all I'm saying, and I'm not saying like it can't be done, but I just don't see it. And I do feel like they probably trying to give it to Luka. That's the fake ass trade, because it ain't no way in hell we get Luka Doncic without giving up Austin Reeves for 80. Like, you don't make that trade. Like I would make it, but you realistically, who in their right mind makes that trade?
The problem with the league isn't so much the players; it's the things that they're doing. The in-season tournament, how they're handling the All-Star weekend. Those things, the lack of defense until you get to the playoffs. Nobody plays defense. Every team scoring 150, 200 to 150 is the scores now. There's no defense being played. There's no hand checking. There's no knocking guys down and they only be a regular foul. You know, you knock a, you blow in a dude's face or something. It's flagrant, like a flagrant 2. Like, he looked at me wrong. It's a flagrant 1. Like, that's really the issue with the league. Not so much there's talented guys. Now, again, like I alluded to, a lot of the talented dudes though are international. So who's going to be that quote unquote next American player, right? I think we all wanted to be Ant-Man. He's charismatic. He's been in movies, right? Like he's also on the social scene. Like, you hear about him on IG and who's he with and Like, all of that adds mystique to it, just like it did for Jordan, just like it did for Kobe. There was also a mystique behind those guys, right? You didn't always know what was going on. Nowadays, yeah, you know what's going on, but there's still there's a curiosity about, especially because it's a young kid as well. But he can also hoop, right? He loves the big time. I respect the GOATs. I love Kevin Durant, but I'm gonna whoop his ass. I love LeBron James, who won a gold medal, but I'm gonna whoop his ass. I love Steph Curry, who won a gold medal. I'm gonna whoop. Like, that's the attitude that he carries. But the league and how they are handling certain things in certain aspects is really what's causing people to be like, hey, again, the All-Star game weekend, that was like the last great one was 2016 with Zach LaVine, dunk, all of that, and it was Kobe's last All-Star. Like, that was the last great one. You don't get that type of show anymore. The in-season tournament, I think it's just a waste of time. I like the play-in now. I didn't like it at first. I like the play-in now, but I think it's just a waste of time. I don't think so much it's got anything to do with LeBron. I mean, I get it, right? LeBron has been the face, and yeah, who's going to be the face after it? But is that going to be Cooper Flag? I don't think he's a 1. I think going into Dallas, if this team could be healthy, he fits perfectly to help Kyrie and AD get buckets. I don't know if he could be a 1, but he can be. Anybody can be if they have the drive. If it's God's plan, anybody can be. But certainly, I mean, him going to Dallas, haven't they always had they had the Dirk Nowitzki first, the Steve Nash, and they had Luka, and now they got Cooper.
The hometown.
Don't blame the. I think they need to just switch. I do think it comes to a face. I think you have to get somebody to fill it, because everything they've done is to try to kind of force players to do things, but you're not going to get that with this player empowerment era. You need all of them going, and with the young boys, you could probably get away with trying to force some things now, because LeBron, KD, and them, they're not going to budge. You're not going to get Kevin Durant to get up for an in-season tournament. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll play, they'll play.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's kind of pointless.
So, and then the All-Star, I agree with that too, because even I agreed with Draymond. Like, why do you have rookies playing in the All-Star game? And it goes back because the All-Star players weren't playing because they didn't want to get hurt. And you can't argue against that, because as a fan, I'll be damned if LeBron go up and get dunked. He dunk and he get hurt, or AD when he was a Laker get hurt, and I'm not my player out because y'all want him to play hard. So, and I don't know how you fix that. I really don't. But I think they're trying new things, and I do think bringing rookies in was the best formula. I don't agree with it because it's like you didn't earn it. But hey, I'm not in the league, right? So my job is to watch it. But I do agree with what you're saying to the most part, and I can see the sad part about it being an international player, because outside of Anthony Edwards and, well, I'm gonna take that back. The new players, the new young ones, they compete. The old heads, they've done their time, and I think they're And it's weird still calling LeBron, KD, Steph old heads at this point because you've seen them, but at the same time, these new ones are coming and they're competing. And I think that's what the league is missing. Like nobody's trying to be friends, and I don't blame that generation of players for doing that because they gave players which MJ and them, Kobe and them wouldn't have did, and that was empowerment. And I think we see that because really when you look at those movements, it's also empowering for the people. Like go ask for your work. As much as people criticize LeBron for the decision, it's like it did go to charity, people. Like let's stop. Like and at the same time, when you look at certain things of like that was just dope to still see, like a free agency done differently. Kevin Durant, as much as we hate him for that decision, it still was great entertainment. Like it gave us something to talk about. And like, I'm hoping to Rock's point, hey, we're just now, we don't get it packaged. We don't get to preview the greatness before. It probably has to be molded and built, I get this at this point, because it's not the same. And I guess I'm wrapping my head around that because we're not getting Caitlin Clark anytime soon. Like, so,
right.
That's just weird to me. It is. It's just weird. Like, you don't have, because Cooper Flag ain't it. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
Like, this is who's going to fill LeBron James' shoes? Like, like, this is what y'all, like, nah, come on, bro.
So, Complex dropped the list of the best rapper singer duos of all time. I'm just gonna go over the top 10. Drake, Party Next Door, number 10. Future and The Weeknd, number 9. Snoop Dogg and Charlie Wilson, number 8. Jay-Z and Beyonce, number 7. Lil Wayne and T-Pain. All right, what was it? T-Wayne? T-Wayne. Number 6. Number 5, J. Cole and Miguel. 4, Drake and Rihanna. Okay. Number 3, Ludacris and Usher. Number 2, Kendrick and SZA.
I don't know how that made number 2.
And number 1, which I actually would agree with, Ja Rule and Ashanti.
This is like ranked. Like this is their ranking. They're saying Ja Rule and Ashanti. Like
this is their ranking.
Okay.
It was actually 20. So let me go. Let me get y'all the others. But that was the top 10. So let me get y'all the full 20 real quick. Number 20, Young Thug, Chris Brown. 19, Gage Loaf and Jacquees.
Jacquees.
Tupac and Danny Boy at 18. Kanye and Ty Dolla, 17. Common and Erykah Badu, 16. Big Sean and Jhené Aiko, 15. Jada and Mary J, 14. That's an interesting one. Warren G and Nate Dogg at 13. That might should have been top 10. Missy and Tierra at 12. And then 11, Rick Ross and John Legend. So let me get y'all the other 10 again. So it's Drake and Party Next Door, 10. Future and The Weeknd at 9. Snoop and Charlie Wilson at 8. 7 is Jay-Z and Beyonce. 6 is Lil Wayne and T-Pain. 5 is J. Cole and Miguel. Drake and Rihanna at number 4. Number 3, Luda and Usher. 2, Kendrick and SZA. And number 1, Ashanti and Ja. Y'all like that list?
You can knock 10 and 9 off automatically. You can start right there. And then what's really bugging me out? A lot of these people that's on this list, they don't even have a lot of music together to begin with.
That's the thing.
Like only 2 people out of that whole 20 have albums together. Big Sean and Janae and J&B. Everybody else probably has no more than 3 songs together.
Yeah, well, it's just they're basing off of just the collaborations and the I guess the hits not so much like albums, right? Like they're not
got you.
Because then I mean you're missing Jay-Z and R. Kelly. You know, that's a duo that could have been on there. I get it. People don't want to put R. Kelly up there, but that's still
and I forgot about that. And that dude, and if R. Kelly wasn't Funny Style, I mean, I'm gonna call a spade a spade.
But if it's hits, then Busta Rhymes and Mariah Carey should be on there.
Busta Rhymes and Mariah, yeah.
I mean, if I don't even think Kendrick and SZA got hit. I like their stuff, but Kendrick and Wise, they have more hits because you talk about Money Trees, Uphill, and like I would have picked that, but I guess they went for the names. To me, the greatest, if you pick, is Jay-Z and Beyonce. I love Ja Rule and Ashanti, but Jay-Z and Beyonce, literally,
that's like literally. I get that one, yeah.
And then you can,
especially if you're talking about hits out of that 20, out of that 20, forget the 10.
Yeah, like I mean, like that's just literally. But I think a lot of these don't equate to like really. They just did songs. And if you're going about off songs, I mean, there's some good ones. I think Common and Erykah Badu could have been higher. I think.
I even think Missy and Sierra. If we talking about,
they could have been on there too. Like it's.
Like Warren G and Nate Dogg. I mean, they could have been.
I think they
like that could have been higher. Mm-hmm. I mean, Eminem and Dido. Stan was one of the greatest hip hop songs all the time. Why wasn't that on there? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I like Drake and Rihanna. I think because that when they were doing their thing, that was really good. Yeah. So I thought that was a good pick. I mean, but it just really depends what the merit, the standard is. I feel like it was just a lazy list, but yeah, Ja Rule or Jay-Z and Beyonce. And like,
that would be my top three: Ja Rule, Ashanti, Drake, and Rihanna, and then Beyonce and Jay-Z. That would be my top three, I would say.
I mean, shit, Nelly and Kelly Rowland had that annoying ass song forever. I hated that song. I hated that song.
But didn't it make all like, especially on the East Coast? I don't know how it was on the West Coast. Like all the East Coast niggas got the little Band-Aid.
Oh,
they did the same thing.
They were doing that in Dallas for
not
sure.
Not the tape, not the white tape. Niggas got Band-Aids on. Talk about.
Oh my god,
that shit was crazy. Oh man, that shit was great. But I mean, some of these definitely could have been higher or lower for sure. But I think they were just trying to compare like, quote unquote, the hits with these collaborations. But people about to get into our real MCs with our top 5 or 10. All right. Yes, this show is going to be around forever and ever and ever. All right, you can keep this going. All right, it's finally a show we got. You can keep this going. The show is called Forever. It is on Netflix right now. Directed by multi-talented people, including Regina King. I think she directed the first episode. Just a talented ensemble cast. Wood Harris plays the father. I forget the other actor's name, but just a great cast. The leads. They're in high school, right? At this stage of the series, right? I think what they started as juniors or seniors, one of the two in high school, and it just follows their Love Jones tale, right? As they learn each other, right? Learn about each other. The breaking up, the getting back together, the blocking you, I'm blocking, that's blocking now, right? Like, we came up, you had to take the phone off the hook or just see the phone number and put it under another name so you knew not to pick it up, right? Like now you can just block people, but just a great show, shows the dynamic of family too. Even when you like with the female lead's character, even when you just see her mom, but then her dad is also in the picture. Her granddad is in the picture helping her out. She's a track star. He helps her out with that. And then Wood Harris, and the woman that plays his wife, who was, I forgot her name, but she was in Luke Cage as well. She's cop in Luke Cage. And just a great tandem and showing like parenting and Black parents being together, raising their children. And showing a different experience of life. I was talking to my lady about when we were watching it, like like y'all be looking like y'all be partying like in high school out on the West Coast. Like, all right, East Coast high school like elementary school. Y'all should be looking like y'all be just chilling, having lavish parties at 15. Like we'd be like, what the so seeing that on this show, Bel Air, right? Like it gives everybody just a breath of fresh air of the different culture and how everybody grows up differently, right? Everybody, everybody's circumstances is different, but of course, I want to get y'all's review. I know Devontae, I know you love the show.
I love it.
Please.
I love it. I think it's the greatest flip of a book I've ever seen because the book was not meant with black characters, and they flipped it up. They, if I understood it right, and like I think it's the whole story. They kept the like core elements and still flipped it up. It was Love Jones, like you said, met Insecure, met Degrassi, met like it was like all of these things. And what I love is the chemistry with the two actors, the young actors, and then find out that's Tony Braxton's son. Like, you know what I'm saying? To learn things like that, like it was like crazy. And like I love how they looked at each other because like you felt that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't try to do too much. It let the characters breathe, which is very rare, like in that space. And it dragged me. It broke my heart. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't seen it, spoiler alert. I wanted them to be together, but we gonna see what happens in the future. I hope we get this for a while. I have a theory that black shows only get 5 seasons before they cancel us, but I'm hoping we can at least get 6 out of this, if not more. But it really was good. And you are right. My mom always tells a story with the West Coast kids. Like I was out at 9 to 10 partying and doing my thing. So like it just is like that. Like, so, it was great, man. Like it was refreshing. Didn't do too much. It was hard. I don't like really high school shows with a bunch of sex, but it's not like I wasn't trying to have sex in high school, so I can't knock it from that. Like it ain't like I wasn't trying to get down in high school. So but I tend to not like that a lot as I've gotten a little bit older. But I get it, and I hope they pick up with her and Howard. I want to see that. I hope to see where he's at with his career. I hope we don't overly saturated in season 2 because that's where it gets tricky, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like you come back and you start to water down certain things. But it was good to see black people in the Hamptons. And what was really refreshing with this one, I think it was one of those rare shows, like especially with black shows, I'm so tired of watching a bunch of black trauma like now when I watch something. And this was something that was like, it was just love, and it was just like natural, like even his parents' dynamic and like how Rock said with her parents and stuff like that. You saw it, but it wasn't this whole thing where Dad, you beat me when I was 6. I'm like, fuck, oh my God. Like, this drama, the drama was right in the like necessary spots. And I love when they got to the Hamptons to see the black people in the Hamptons, like Lincoln. I think that's where they were at. I hope.
Martha's Vineyard.
Martha Vineyard. Okay, thank you. Like it was just dope because I know there's black people out there and they move like that. So it was just dope to see. Me and my wife was looking at the donut shop out there. I was like, let's add it to the list. And and like it was so fucking refreshing, man, because I've said it for a while. We've been needing something to fill that spot since Insecure left. And I'm rooting for them. They need to get married. They need to have kids. I'm invested in this fucking relationship, y'all. Like, y'all better, like it's my little cousin, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the one for you, homie. Like, lock her up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But her showing up out of nowhere to the spot, uninvited. Like, for me, I was like, this chick crazy, bro. Like, she crazy. And I love how they didn't make him a toxic. Even though some parts was weird, they didn't make him like a toxic black man, and I didn't love how they didn't do that because they have a tendency on shows to emasculate us as black men, and they have a tendency to, like, his dad was his dad. It let him be that long. When he kept telling the wife, let him be, like, let him grow up, like, and he wasn't rude. They weren't fighting, so I just love it all. I can be on that all.
Go ahead, Gary.
Oh, so no, I didn't check it out yet. I feel like if I watched it, I would have gotten in trouble with my girl.
Okay. So you say I'm waiting to watch it. Okay.
Yeah, waiting to watch it. We in artist mode right now, so we'll get to it.
Man, I wasn't trying to get no spoilers.
It's terrible, Gary. You should look. Should have pre-warned me.
Nah, it's all. That's all good. I'll forget about all that by the time we watch it.
All right.
Yeah, I've been watching some other joints that I know she ain't tripping off of.
Watch some damn horror movies. That's what y'all was doing.
Right.
Hey, yo, Final Destination I consider a horror movie.
I'm gonna watch
Lady
never, Outside or something like that.
Never will watch.
Doorstep. What's it called? The Lady at the Doorstep, where she be like, "Today's the day," something like that. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna watch that this week.
I'm good. So the Ironheart trailer drop. All right, Ironheart, Disney, Marvel. All right, she last appeared in Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, where she was pretty much helping out Wakanda defeat Namor, right? And the trailer, I thought was pretty good for to be a show. I mean, I don't get why Disney is still doing these shows. Maybe it should have been a movie, but I digress. But of course, just like the Acolyte, all right, with Star Wars, okay, that had a black female young lead character. Seeing another black young female lead character, a Hispanic dude playing the villain, right? The trailer has been getting a lot of hate. All right, a lot of hate. People saying I ain't gonna watch it. What the hell is this? They got this black girl up here. I mean, like, damn, but black women can't even play Little Mermaid. All right, and when mermaids are based on black people, all right, and we all know the historical references as to why. Okay, it's a show, people. Like, race is so deeply embedded in this country, and with some white people, it is absolutely. It's a show. You know what that means? You don't have to watch it. What? You don't have to tune in to the show. That is your protest in itself. You have to spew hate. Your protest is saying, I choose not to watch. How people don't go to the movies. For real though. How people don't go to the movies and the movies doesn't do good ratings and it bombs. It's because why? People chose not to go support that film. It is the same. You can choose not to support. I don't get the rhetoric behind the hate. Like, it's absolutely insane. Just simply because the girl is a black woman that just dreams of being like Iron Man, who y'all love, who's a white man. Like, that's really what that's her I don't want to say mentor, but that's who this character is inspired by.
Mm-hmm. It's a real character, y'all.
Like, people, you already winning. It's inspired by Iron Man, who's a white man. Like, it ain't enough. Go ahead, Pete.
Turn the TV off. That's what Kendrick been telling y'all. Y'all still ain't listening. Look, it's a real character, y'all. Like, first of all, I thought I got to go back and finish watching the trailer. It didn't move me that much, and it's not saying I'm not ready, excited about it, because I like old girl who plays her, and I like Ironheart's character. I like Three, but but just for those haters who does this every time something comes out. If you're new to comic books, 2016, the Invincible Iron Man. It's like she shows up. It's not like this is some new. Oh, they're taking Little Mermaid away. And I get your outrage, Little Mermaid. No, I don't. I try to give you that 3 seconds. I really don't. It's not that serious. They're TV characters. I mean, for years, y'all were playing Africans and Egyptians and things like that. It's okay. You'll be okay. But, like, I don't think, and I agree with Rock, like, and this one goes back to what I was saying earlier, golly, you have to put race in everything. That's what y'all say to us. Like, you gotta put race in everything. Like, why? Why can't his show just be the show? Like, if they want to talk about these things on the show, Rock gave you the blueprint. Turn it off. There's been plenty of shows I watch for fun. This ain't for me, and I cut it off. Don't complain about it. Don't go rant about it. And you weirdos who like to get on chats and just sit up there on Instagram, see why this is that woke stuff. You can have the word woke. We'll make a new one. I don't care for the word woke.
Exactly.
You can have it. And I hope your woke ass realize it's still going to be more black content. So I think Roc said it best. I'm excited for it. I didn't think the trailer was like, it didn't move me enough to be like, yo, this is like that. But it's not necessarily that. I think it's going to be good. I don't think too much for it because I'm with Roc too. Like, what are with these TV shows? And I think the thing that gets me is like Daredevil was cool, but it was so fucking slow. And it was like, just give me all the episodes and let me watch them at this point. I don't got time to keep playing, like, waiting, like, for all that, because it's just, especially, I'm either going to forget, it may not move me that much, or if I do get invested, so just drop them all. But I'm interested to see what they do. I'm really over Marvel right now. Like, Marvel's not, like, it's just because it's, like, I haven't watched Thunderbolts. I ain't even heard nobody say nothing about it, really. Like, it's just, it's not moving me. Hopefully Fantastic Four can save it. But we on Sinners right now. We on everything else right now. Like, I think I love where black creativeness forever, like we just talked about. I love where it's going. And I love that each story doesn't necessarily tap into the age-old trauma of blackness. It's like we can tell it without telling it. And Roc, you can speak more to the film directing. I just think it's dope because now where I'm at as a writer and as we're working on our project, me and my wife now, it's just helping me more creatively how we can take things, because this is a perfect age of just creativity and art for black people, and there's a spirit right now of like just creativeness going around that if you tap into it, it's like you're seeing it to tell these stories in a different way. Because what I did catch of that trailer, I liked how it just spun it, like how they spun the block with it. It wasn't like, yo, age-old. It just, I don't even know how to word it, because it's just like, I'm still figuring it out right now, but I like what's happening right now with black creativity. I like how our storytelling is going. I like how our art painting is going. I like how I'm seeing everything, because it's not the same old, and I don't want to make it seem like stop making slave stories, stop making these stories. We need these, because like if you stop telling the story, then we'll lose that through history. So there is a good balance, but I do love that we can tell it in a way. And I'm gonna use Sinners again, because it didn't make it just a black film, and Ryan Coogler didn't push it as just a black film. He pushed it as a film, and I think that's what we're seeing right now, where it's just like, yo, we're dope. Give us a seat at the table, and if you don't want to give us a seat at the table, like Shirley Chisholm said, hey, bring a folding chair. So,
yeah, I like what both of y'all said, because I was trying to figure out what's the last series I actually watched that I was into like that in comparison to the movie, and I think it might have been Luke Cage. Like, I just enjoyed it all the way through. But it's like, it's a series when it comes to Marvel. It's just like, I just can't seem to grasp on and get hip to it. I'll definitely give this one a chance, though. And then this is what you said, and going back to comic books. With all these series and all these movies coming out, it made me want to get back into the comic book world and read up on these things. Because I used to be on comic books heavy when I was a young kid, like real heavy. And then it just faded off. And then going with all these things coming back around, it made me want to get back into it again. So maybe something like that is something I'll look up and read.
Do it, bro. Do it. What a time.
Is it this man's last mission?
No.
I hope so.
No, it's not. It's gonna be he's gonna be having missions as long as Fast and Furious is running.
I hope so. I'm torn if I'm gonna go see it in theaters, because I'm like, you know.
I'm definitely gonna go see. I mean,
yeah.
I've been watching this for 30 years. The first one came out in '96. Like,
that's wow.
Like, gotta watch it now. You gotta see it through at this point. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm obviously he's Tom Cruise, so he's not gonna like die like the last James Bond, No Time to Die, where he died at the end. Like, Tom Cruise ain't gonna do that. But
still ain't watched that.
I'm curious to see how the movie ends. It normally ends with him getting the phone call for the next mission. I'm curious how they end this one, or will they do a post-credit scene where He gets a phone call and something, I don't know.
Ooh, what they can do, because it'd be the most creative thing to do right now, and you'll get a lot of traction if he gets the phone call, and then instead of him taking it, he hands it to the next person who's taking it over, and it's a black woman, because people gonna love that one. They're gonna love that one.
Isn't there a part 2 to this?
This is part 2.
Yeah,
this is part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like this. I like that. That'll be hard. Do it.
Yeah, realistically, that's how
and do that.
Yeah, hand it over. I want to see that. I want to see continuations of franchises, because going back to basketball, I want to see the nostalgic, drag it out, make a series off of the series. I heard people talking about the Centers universe it can possibly be. I want to see that. I want to see what you can do. Like you start, like the Bible says, faith of a mustard seed. You take it and you make this bigger thing of it. That's what I'm starting to push creative to. Like, okay, how would you spin it? Like, what else can you spin it off of? So that's what I want to see.
People.
Right.
Our top 5 or 10. So I saw this on IG. It's been going around, right? The greatest hip hop labels of all time, and specifically in their peak years. Okay. So this is no order. So I'm just starting at the top, but this is no order. Death Row. All right. 1992 to 96. There's the lineup right there. Snoop, Dre, Tupac, Dog Pound, right? YMC and B, all right, specifically Cash Money, all right. They run from 99 to basically 2013. Obviously, you had Wayne, Juvenile, Drake, Nicki Minaj. Def Jam, all right, 1986 to 91. All right, you had LL, you had Public Enemy, Beastie Boys, Slick Rick, crazy lineup. The Roc, Rockefeller, all right, which is tight. I never fully noticed with the logo with the J and I never really peeped that. But Rockefeller from 96 to 05, they had Jay-Z, Kanye, Cameron, Free, all right, Freeway, all right. Top Dog, all right. So 2012 to still now, all right. Kendrick, SZA, Dolce, Schoolboy Q, you go on and on, all right. Bad Boy, 94 to 98. All right, obviously you had Biggie, Mace, and Diddy. All right. We should say Jadakiss, because Jadakiss really wrote all Diddy's rhymes. Aftermath, all right. 1999 through 2005, they had a crazy run. I mean, Eminem dropped 3. You had 50 came out with Get Rich or Die Trying, and The Massacre. The Game came out 04. Dr. Dre with The Chronic, they had a crazy run during that time. Chronic 2, excuse me. No Limit, all right, from 97 to 2000, where they put out like over 50 albums in 1 year, something crazy.
Yeah, they dropped they averaged like 1 to 2 a week or something like that. It was wild.
That's insane. I was Masterpiece, Snoop, Mystical, all right. Good Music from 2009, 2012. Yeah, Kanye, Big Sean, Pusha T. Rough Riders, all right. So from 98 to 04, DMX, rest in peace. The Locks, Eve, all right. Eve had a good run too. Right? Like you look back on Eve's run, she had a pretty good run. What's next year? Double MG, all right. 2011 to 2013 with Ross, Meek Mill, Wale. A sleeper, Loud Records. Loud had Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, and Big Pun from 93 to 2000. That's crazy. And then last but not least, Raucous Records. All right. Mos Def, Talib Kweli. Crazy runs, big time labels, big time artists, what's the most impressive run label artist tandem that y'all see with them?
You can take that one, Gary.
It was a
Hold up,
tough one.
Hold up, Gary. Des, am I missing any? All right.
No, you covered it. I don't think it's nothing you missed. I think it's more. Gary, go ahead. I'll get into that.
I was like, it's tough because those eras, they really ran it. In those pockets, they really ran it. Like, if you look back at the numbers Death Row did, especially with Pac alone, it's especially in that era, that was unheard of. So have a double album and all this, that, and the third, and then you think about Rockefeller, every time they signed somebody, it was a big deal. It was people you didn't think of, and that's when I kind of think about Good Music too, because when Good Music did Pusha T, Common, they was doing Most Def. They was hold on, fam, how are they getting these high caliber rappers under Kanye? How it's supposed to be the opposite, you would think.
Right.
So, man, I really I wasn't confident enough to be nah, I would pick this one, this record label at this period of time. I really couldn't call it.
I'm going to just real quick, Des. I brought it up earlier. Aftermath's run. I'm sorry. 99, it was Slim Shady LP. Then in 2001, Marshall Mathers LP. No, 2000 was Marshall Mathers LP. Drake drops The Chronic 2 the next year. Eminem Show in 02. Get Rich or Die Trying in 03. Game comes out with documentary in 04, and then 50 drops The Massacre in 05. They had, and all of those albums were classics or big hits that had big.
I was about to say, now I say that the documentary came out, I think the summer I was in college freshman year, and I remember copping Get Rich or Die Trying in high school. I definitely remember that. Yeah. Now, like I said, that was the time, fam. After that was, when you put it in perspective like that, that's what I'm saying. Those pockets, and when you bring it to perspective like that, it really makes you think. Because that's a whole run right there. Yeah. Numbers wise, especially
Yeah, I mean, to your point, you're there was a lot of good, but I just can't think of that one with all of those albums and all of the hits on those albums.
Yeah.
Dre and Eminem produced a lot of that too. Right.
So this is one of those ones I was. I like all these labels for particular reasons. I don't like all the artists on the label because some of them but to me, I'm just gonna do I believe. To me, the greatest record label, I'm gonna start there all time, is Def Jam Records. I think Def Jam is the greatest record label of all time.
No argument there.
It created a culture. It is what it is.
It did create a culture.
Def Jam is that. The most impactful, if I had to pick one, is going to be Death Row Records. Because Death Row, it's Death fucking Row. So I had to break these, and this is how I ranked it when Roc sent me. I said, fucking Roc. This is how I felt. I was like, I didn't want to talk about this. Now, I'm still researching this, but if I had to pick, because this is how I looked at this label, the most financial dominant to me was Young Money, Cash Money. I think because you talking about the financial shift of that era, they were making money. It just was money to be made.
Early
lyricist, Raucous. I thought that was the best lyricist label because Lyricist Lounge was created off. Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Black Thought. You know what I'm saying? E to Live. Now, one of my favorite labels, one of my favorite times in music. The biggest hustle and ownership blueprint is No Limit. I thought No Limit, Master P was so ahead of their game. I thought, 23 albums in 1 year, you know what I'm saying, kept all their masters, you know what I'm saying, Hustlers, Gospel, it's just over it. The most artistic integrity label, in my opinion, that I've ever seen, TDE. I just think TDE is just artistically, they stay true to who they are. And that's what they bring to the table. I think it's a different level of where it goes with them. I think every drop feels more intentional with all of their artists, and it's like they do it right. Rock, when you asked me honorable mentions, I said no, but then as I started thinking, I said I'm missing somebody, and I'm missing one of my favorites, but technically I mentioned them, but OK Player, Roots label. So like, you know, like, yeah, but I mean, you can, you know, that's technically under Def Jam's umbrella. The last, I would say the best streamed, I had Rockefeller. I think the best stream to mainstream, because I think Rockefeller, I wanted to be on Rockefeller. I thought everybody threw up the Rock. Rock was like the amazing, it like merged like a hustling spirit. My notes I have, it's lyrical depth, and it was luxury branding. You saw a record label that was, to me, Rockefeller, and no disrespect, Jay-Z, it was Bad Boy on steroids. Like, I thought that was how Rock especially when Dipset came in, I thought that was a whole nother vibe, a whole nother move. And then the best hit makers and star power, I really do think it was Bad Boy. That Bad Boy era, you know, even though people were like, right now we're on this whole, that's the thing I hate about the downfall of Diddy, because it's like, I hope this doesn't turn into a thing where they do with R. Kelly, where the music starts getting affected, because you had Mace, you had 112, Faith F, my favorite female R&B group, Total, because Kissing You, that is my song. That song come on. That song is like,
can't you see?
Can't you see? Hey, what you?
That's the
you
shit
know,
right there.
that's just it's just total greatness. But like, it's like pick a label for the poison, and that's where it was hard for me to pick one. My favorite all time is Def Jam, because it gave us one of the greatest, if not the greatest rapper of all time, LL Cool J. And I think that is just what that is like. And I thought Def Jam was like, I still think Def Jam, there has to be like a new documentary on it. And I get, we don't like Russell, I can't even think of his name right now, but yeah, you know, they don't like Russell no more, so I get it. He
Simmons.
Yeah, Russell Simmons. Yeah, so I get all that. But at the same time, I love what you did with this, Rock, because just to go back, I was like, I can tell you, at one point in time, I loved all these labels for particular reasons. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
And I don't argue anyone liking one over the other one. I think, and then if I had to reverse it, I couldn't do it, because I was like, the one who wouldn't have be more impactful, because they all had it. Because it was a time YMCB was holding it down. There was a time when everybody had it for different ways, and I just think that, like, even right now, you have this TDE. I forgot what Kendrick's label is called that he's pushing right now.
PG Lane.
Yeah, that they're on that kick right now, but it's still different because artistically, we're in a different place, and it doesn't feel like, it goes back to what I was saying with LeBron, the Kobe's. I think we're in an era where you looking back at it. If you would have told me when first time I heard YMCB, I'll be hearing history. The first time I heard Death Row, I'll be hearing history. First time I heard Bad Boy, you know, I was listening to Victory the other day. Hey, yo, 1-2. And all I kept thinking, working out, I was like, damn, what sucks is that you ain't gonna be able to play this while somebody hating on this shit, because they're gonna forget like the chills you got when you heard that shit.
Man, anyone, Tyson, Jordan,
Jackson, bro.
Guns, ridiculous. Yeah, go ahead.
I got on YouTube, and then I went from there, and I turned on, even though what we do is wrong, we still hustle till the sun come up. And I was like, yo, just because I remember seeing that, you could see their breath. Just
if my heat start working, I'm around me a person. Like, yo, you felt
I saw that live. I saw them perform that live. We got real hype.
Oh man.
Yeah, we got real hype when they performed that in Dallas. Classic, timeless.
So it's crazy.
So you say you would have been part of the Rock. Gary, who would you have liked to DJ for and produce for? Which label?
Oh, I would have been Rockefeller too. Like me and the homies back on the South Side, like we called ourselves the Dynasty. Like class of 04, we were the Dynasty. We threw up the Rock and everything. So yeah, 1000%. And that era, as far as producers go, I paid attention to Just Blaze, Bink, and Kanye. Especially during that era, like they wasn't nobody touching that trio under that umbrella, especially Just Blaze. Like I was studying him the most way before I thought about producing and DJing.
Yeah. Yo, Rockets though fumbled the bag. They could have had Kanye.
They could have.
Like that. That's one of that fumble and my man's. I forgot my man's name. He fumbled Wu-Tang Clan. I forgot my man's name, but yeah, like some of them fumbled the bag.
I don't even think Kanye would have, like, looking at it now, because remember when him and Talib got into it, I don't even think Kanye really, I'm not going to say he liked hip-hop, he didn't like hip-hop like that. I don't think he liked the backpackers like that. I think he just used them to get in. But I appreciate him using the backpackers to get in, because Kanye, when he did a few songs with Little Brother and Ninth Wonder.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's crazy, man. So I would say to both of y'all, and I mean, we listen to it anyway. It's not like we don't go back and listen. Go listen to some of them songs again. Because I went back and listened to, I was listening to Old Boy the other day. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, y'all remember when this shit came out? And
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
Hey
Ma, I was listening to Hey Ma the other day. I was like, hey Ma, what's up? I was like, oh shit. I was trying to get in trouble back then, boy.
Yeah. Man. But yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, it's these eras, especially Bad Boy. I mean, that was a run. Be ready to die and conspiracy with
you remember Whoa? I had this bad chick of town. She was Whoa.
Man, that's still the anthem. That's still the anthem. Rest in peace to
you know what's wild about that song? 50 Cent said that's the only hip hop song that the whole song is the chorus.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're right. That lyrical scheme is the whole song, literally.
Yeah. And Rough Riders, I didn't even mention them. Rough Riders.
Yeah, like some guys have tried to do it, but Whoa is the biggest.
Yeah.
Like that blew. I think some guys tried to do it on I think Wiz tried to do on his album, like keep that hook going, but rap in between. But Whoa definitely was. That's still played to this day. Like they play that on movie trailers. Like it's, like that shit's crazy.
Hey, what was the name of Timberland's label? Because he had a label too with them.
Ooh.
I cannot.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, now I got.
Was it not Blackground? Was it?
I can't remember the name of it.
I think so. I think you're right. I think it is Blackground.
He was either signed to him or that was their label. It was like Blackground or something like that.
Yeah, I think you are right. I think it is Blackground.
Because if not, it was something else. I know he went on the run when he was doing his solo albums.
Yeah. Oh man, he had this.
Yeah, his early solo album, Timberland's
Family. Yes, bro.
Hard.
Hey, he had this one with Nelly Furtado. That shit. Like I can't think of the name of that one now. But I'll find it and put it in the group chat.
Yeah, Timberland's solo albums is hard for real though. I had his joints on CD.
Yeah, bro. Like
it was Blackground.
Blackground, okay.
Yeah.
Timberland Magoo. Like you go back, like thinking man.
Rest in peace, Magoo.
Rest in peace for real.
You got so bad, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's what's crazy. Now we get to that age where it's like, man, rest in peace, bro. Rest in peace, bro. Like that's crazy. But yeah, Magoo, he's gone too. But yeah, I would have loved to have been an MC on Raucous. Just being the MC, like that to me, Raucous just says, oh, you here? Oh, you an MC? Like you nice. Like
that's why I was like this. I was like, you mentioned it too. Did y'all ever watch Lyricist Lounge show on MTV?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I wanted to be on Lyricist Lounge. I tried to be on Rockets. It's not one of these companies I didn't like at the time. We used to send them your CD. I didn't try to email. Yeah. It's crazy just to see how the industry has changed now. Like getting back into making this next, like I said, this project and working on music. It is just like to see where the game has changed now, and now you really don't even need a label like that. It's only if you want to like use it for the buzz. But like, I think out of Def Jam, I wanted to be on Def Jam so bad. Aftermath, Rock was talking about that. I wanted to be on Aftermath so bad. I just didn't trust Dre. I really just didn't trust Dre like that.
That's the thing too. Yeah, like Dr. Dre is like, that's the greatest co-sign you can ever get, and then your album don't come out till 8 years or more, or just don't drop at all. You know, Rakim's album never dropped on the Aftermath.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't have trusted that. And I thought we talked about Kanye at the time. I'm glad I never my mom always said, she told me, because like before I moved to Oklahoma, I had a chance to sign a record deal, and I didn't do it. And because my mom told me to go to Bible college, and I was so mad. I was like, "Oh, you crazy? You tripping?" But it was the best thing that ever happened to me because I don't know where I would have ended up or who I would. That's why looking at this, it just makes me. I say, man, I could have been on any one of those labels if I really pursued it like that. And I just think because it just saved my life and saved my soul, because like it ain't none of it. Like it was at one point in my life I wanted to be on Bad Boy, and now looking where we're at now, I can only imagine the things I would have saw, what I would have had to been around. You just don't know. And it doesn't take away the greatness, because honestly, looking at it, it looked like Master P was probably the best one to be with, because he at least tried to take care of his people. And
everybody got paid.
Everybody
got paid. Exactly.
Top Dog and with TDE, they look like they took care of him.
I can see you being on TDE or Raucous, just based on your music. Your music would have fit. I think not to say that it wouldn't have fit anywhere, but like
Raucous was
here, especially Raucous. Like I think you're. Yeah,
I'm hoping when we put this project out, PG Lane, I can at least get something with Kendrick. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's that you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say last run. I think I got about at least four projects I said I got left in me. But like, at least from Wifey, because she got way more she can do. Like, but like, I just feel like realistically, PG Lane, that's the one I kind of want to go with. But where we're at, we're focusing on sync license, and the biggest flex we're trying to do right now is get our music in these TV shows, man. Like, that's the biggest one. So it's gearing up for that, because it's crazy. You don't need a label now. You just need good filmmakers. Just need a good song and put it in front of the right audience, man.
No, facts. People, as we always like to do in the show, what's the question? There is no question. We do have an announcement to make. All right. There's never been a quote unquote live show of the HL podcast, right? Live in front of an audience. And that is going to change 1 month from today. All right, June 20th. Myself traveling over there. Where these two at? I'm going to Oklahoma, going to Tulsa for Juneteenth weekend. It's going to be insane. All right, because I haven't met these fellas in person yet. They haven't met me in person yet. Yes, people, we've been doing this all virtually this entire time. So it's just going to be special to be out there around, the Black history, as y'all be telling me about, the culture. I've been out Midwest. I've been to Kansas City. I don't know how far Kansas City is from y'all, but that's Midwest. That's where I've been. So it's just gonna be, just interesting to see. And the live show, we don't have the quote unquote the venue just yet, but we're narrowing it down. But it's certainly gonna be on June 20th. That is a Friday night. All right. Again, we're gonna be live, and it's not just gonna be the show. We're gonna make this a whole night. All right. Kickback / show. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah. Y'all know Oklahoma, Tulsa better than me. Y'all can put in the plugs, do what y'all need. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. I'm excited. Everything booked, flight booked, hotel booked. I'm ready. Des, I don't know who. Yeah, you say you're gonna pick us up from the airport. Maybe out, whatever we got to do. But this is going to be insane. I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, just to meet y'all. Meet y'all families. Hang out, chill. Just meet all y'all friends out there, right? And hopefully, at some point y'all can come out here, Richmond, and we could do the same thing. But
for sure,
yeah.
There we go. Let's make it happen. It's gonna be good, man. Hash out details and we straight. We right there. It ain't that much to hash out.
You come. I mean, what other better time to come on the week of Juneteenth down there?
Yeah, you already know I'm wearing my Garvey shit. I already got it. June, I'm ready. I'm Garveyed out. Where the Garvey ice at? Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be jumping. It's gonna be real active. It was at not Mayfest, the bike rally we had this past weekend. Yeah. Super active.
They had me on that golf course. That's why I went golfing. I was out there for that.
Yeah, that's how your Tiger was having ass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was out there. You know what I'm saying? I was out there
with the hitting birdies. I see.
You know what I'm saying? We do what he did. Shout out to my golf crew. We did our thing. You know what I'm saying? We was out there. They blacked out. I think it was about 300-400 black people up out there. We was out there. We was
That's what's up.
Dang, for real?
Nah, it was probably like 180.
Tiger Woods gave us hope. Tiger Woods gave us hope, man. He said, "No, y'all can do this shit too." But no, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. But people, we thank everybody for tuning in and who will watch later. We greatly appreciate it. Always I greatly appreciate you guys. And yeah, T
appreciate you, appreciate y'all.
Yeah, man.
Always.
T minus 1 month from now, it's going to be live. Again, this is the HL Podcast, people. Peace and love.
Yes, sir.